Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show. Hey y'all, thanks for tuning in. This is RAERAES all day with my girl Espopcultureopinion. Hey girl, what you doing, mamas?
Hey everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much. I am just here on a Sunday night. Just got through a little bit of Potomac. But we are here on Southern Charm, and I am ready to focus and dish.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about season 9, episode 8. And we just gonna dig right in. First off, we got JT and Rod cleaning up after that debacle of a dinner that he held. And they are talking about Taylor's behavior, and JT is making all sorts of excuses, but Rod sees the BS. JT sees her pain, and Austen's cowardice. He thinks Austen's trying to play these girls and trying to get out of being reprimanded. What do you think about that?
Well, I do think he's right. He's this short little upset man, and although there's absolutely no way I would date him, I do think he is a needed addition. We need a little bit of an emotional loose cannon, because I don't necessarily absolve Taylor the way that he does, because I don't want to date Taylor.
Right.
But I do think that the burden does lie heavily on Austen, because Austen, because Austen's a hoe. A bona fide one. Taylor's making me look a little side-eyed with some of her shenanigans, but I also do agree with JT that this was someone she thought she was going to marry. Foolishly so, because Shep's been a dog for a very long time, woof woof, but I do understand the spiral more than I do understand the spiral a little bit.
Yeah, I see Rod is really holding folks' feet to the fire. He seems very emotionally mature. I think JT is also, but maybe JT has feelings for Taylor. I don't know, because he's making all kind of excuses for her, and not just right now, but even later on in the episode, right?
Yes. And tried to defend her at dinner. So yes, for sure.
Yeah, hello. And you know what? Maybe it's a cultural thing, right? That, they want to hold women or put women on a pedestal to where they're excusing certain behaviors like Shep does.
Yeah.
Is that a Southern cultural thing or what?
Well, yes and no, right? Because I think Shep feels bad because he knows he really messed her up. And I think he actually kind of, the ego gets him a little bit. He's enjoying the fact that he really messed her up a little bit too. And then I think JT wants to treat her with respect, and be a Southern gentleman towards her because he likes her. So I think, there's a little element of both, right?
I can see that. Well, that's that with them.
Yes.
Next, Olivia and Austen meet up. Austen confesses his love.
Bull.
I think it's BS. I think he's trying to play around, because in the previous episode, wasn't he a little jail because he sees her with Rod hugged up at the party, and he's in his feelings, and now he's trying to, use, and I really hate to say it, but it seems like, because he's such a dog, he's using their traumas as a bonding experiment
100%.
to see exactly how far he can get in. And I think he got a little later on in the episode.
Oh, 100%.
Child.
100%. Austin is such a bitch sometimes. I'm telling
Girl.
you. It's early on. I don't want to cuss yet. But I'm
Mhm.
telling you. And this is where we see the pathology. This is where we see the reason why Austin is a hoe and why women that have been involved with him have some severe level of vengeance in their hearts. Because he is it's not just that he can't stop sleeping with randoms. He wants you to want him even when he doesn't want you.
Hello. I
And
believe.
I don't like that. Because you could see it's like, oh, she's going to be interested in Rod, who seems like, I mean, emotionally mature, level headed, maybe a little boring, whatever. But certainly after all of the shenanigans that he's pulled, that's great. But no, like you said, he can't handle it. And he's itching. And he's totally using the grief to slither his way back in just to have her her attention. Because I don't think he even really cares if they hook up that much. I think he just wants her attention because because he's a bitch.
I know that's right.
Yes. Very disappointing. But she I don't know. I feel for Olivia because I think she's definitely trying to hold her ground with him and stay angry. But when someone is being actively manipulative and taking advantage of a vulnerable situation, right? You can't fault the girl maybe for looking for some comfort, because really the reason she's so hurt by Austen is she felt ultimately very rejected and embarrassed by his flip, and she felt misled that that people are telling her, or he's telling people he could be in love with her 1 week right after the reunion, like giving her all this attention, and then the next week flop. Olivia who, right? So she felt stupid and duped. So for him to be using this situation to say even the L word, the way he said it was not nice. The way he said it was all ambiguous and like, what is this friend love, you bitch? This is he's a head B. I'm telling you. That's actually a powerful. He's a beta B is what he is. Anyway, I'm just mad at him because I just felt like this is a prime example of the way that he's emotionally manipulative in a really destructive way, and makes him like a covert narcissist.
Right.
He's a sneaky link.
Girl, that's all he does is sneak around, I swear.
Yep. So thank you for letting me vent on that bitch. I needed to, apparently.
Ooh, watch out, Austen. We love you though, but watch out, boo.
Yeah. You deserve a swift kick to the cojones, my friend. I would still buy you a beer after, but after you let me kick you.
Okay, I think Madison would agree.
Yes.
Well, next we got Shep and Whitney, girl.
Oh God, the elitist
having
boys
lunch
club.
Because Shep needs some answers. He want to know what's up with the new photo, and then Shep blames himself again for Taylor showing her nudes and kissing on Austen. I'm like, dude, what you know what? I'm gonna say this in a weird way. I think because they all have a problem with accountability. They find it seems like their philosophy is, if I'm reacting, then it's that person's fault, not really mine, even though I'm doing it. So the accountability is not really on me that's doing it. It's on the person that I'm reacting to. Now, am I wrong or what? Could I be wrong?
Oh, you're right. I mean, they toss all that nonsense all around. He was more upset at Whitney because Whitney didn't show him. That's what he was mad about. Not that there was one that it existed. He was mad that Whitney didn't let him know. But those grody little fools are used to sharing women, and they have no problem with that. and they've made their peace. It's a gentleman's club, it's an old boys club, it's an elitist club. So I was just looking at two little skeezers, honestly, to me. Two old hoes, just, having a little, a moment. And it's so gross to me, but it's really weird the way that every woman kind of throws themselves at Whitney. And it's like we'd have to break the fourth wall to expose why. It's because Whitney does have some legitimate money, number one. And number two, he's a producer on the show. He's the creator of the show. So, of course, if you're going to shoot your shot to be advantageous, that's the one to do it.
I mean, Naomi did it last season.
She did. Exactly. He looks like he'd be terrible in bed. I'm sorry. He gives me he gives me a dry ride.
I don't even think about it.
No, I would F Austen before him 100 times. I mean, I don't know. I would hope that Austen's a good time for all the trouble he causes. But anyway.
He better be.
He better be worth it. Yeah. So those were just two good old boys, And like I said, again, I just think it goes back to Shep is really enjoying that she's just desperate over him, in this weird, twisted way. And he loves playing the concerned party or like whatever. He likes being in this position where he's more likable. But in the end, he still gets what he wants. He gets to F all the randoms he wants and, not have to bear the repercussions of, I don't know. I mean, he is being honest. I cheated on you. Yeah, I suck. So I don't know.
I mean, it's not like he's not saying something we don't already know.
Exactly.
So it's like, let her sit in her and wallow in her shit because she's the one who's making this mess, not you. She is. No one else told her to do those things but her own self. So she has to take full responsibility and accountability and deal with it on her own, per se, and stop. He needs to stop making excuses. But that's what they do. They make excuses to ease the accountability factor off of their own shoulders. Yeah. And he's way too old. Just like JT said, you're the oldest one here.
Yep. Well, and I will say this. I do appreciate that Shep's not being dramatic about it and not being like, how could you do that to me? Because he did it to her with other random women. You know what I mean?
Right,
at least he's being gracious there and defending her as far as don't slut shame her, just because you're witnessing some of the behavior that I employ all the time. At least he's being, at least he's not being a complete hypocrite.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'll give him that.
So next we got Taylor. She's feeling homesick. Everything is coming down on her, she feels, and so she needs to get away. She calls home, talks to her mom. Oh.
Right. Little home scene with the family, little sad foreshadowing for what's in her future, but okay, totally makes sense to her character that, finding comfort in the family. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, she did make it up there, and she has a nice family, very loving, and folks, just want to see how she's doing. And she says she's going to spend the Valentine's Day with them, which is nice, and she doesn't have her own Valentine. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop.
Yep.
But wait, real quick, her dog Penelope. Since you're a dog owner, did you have to put a diaper on your dog?
No, because we got her fixed right before she went into her first heat.
Okay.
Yeah. So
interesting.
There's some vets say wait until the dog is after that, like over a year old, so that they like fully mature. They've gotten the hormones that they need from that. But that's kind of a more recent train of thinking versus previously. And I don't want to start an animal rights war, but no one in my family wanted to deal with a dog on a period. So we took care of it. So no, Tinky the husky didn't have to, full of hair, didn't have the Pomsky, like extra long, didn't wear a diaper.
Okay. Did you catch how Taylor's mom mentioned the chastity belt? Looks like the dog has a chastity belt, and that she wouldn't know nothing about that. Girl, was that was that? Did she drag her real quick or what?
I
Oh my!
know.
Like mom. Oh my. Anywho, so what's his name? Shep and Whitney. When they were talking before, they were talking about planning, or Shep was talking about planning a trip up to his family's place for a few days, right? So they're
Vacation
all,
home.
uh-oh. So they're all, gathering together, and they're all getting ready to go out of town. And it's February 14th, Valentine's Day, right? Craig has all been out of shape because his gift to Paige didn't get there the way it was supposed to. And guess
Yes.
who the hell called Shep on Valentine's Day? Taylor. Child, what is she doing?
Hanging on for dear life, I guess.
Then she mentions Olivia might come up. She invited Olivia so they can, spend some time, whoop-de-woo. And then Shep invites both of them over to the guys' retreat. And both Rod and Austen are looking like,
Yeah.
because things that are going to come will be unfolded have already been known to both, and they're like, oh dang,
BRAGATE.
girl, BRAGATE, yes,
Undergarment shenanigans,
girl. And so they're riding up there, and
right? Need a knee, that cramped ass little Sprinter van.
I was about to say these big grown, overgrown dudes, knees touching, and I'm like, they need a school bus or something. I mean,
they're about to start scissoring anyway.
Oh, guy scissor? I don't know that.
I mean, yeah, they probably could. They probably do something that I'm not familiar with, but
I'm gonna think about that one. But it was like awkward because Rod and Austin are sitting next to each other. I mean, Rod just shows full security within himself. He's just, hey, it is what it is. But just like Rod mentioned, when he went to Austin several episodes ago and let him know, I'm interested in Olivia. I'm letting you know right now. To me, that was the bee's knees for me, because most dudes don't do that. Okay.
Right.
I love that about him. I like Rod.
Well, Rod and JT are the only two that are showing that they're trying to uphold any kind of gentleman's manners,
Right.
They're new on TV, so you know what I mean. No, I think it was cute that Craig. I mean, how annoying isn't that the thing though? He's trying to be good about Valentine's Day and technology and the system. They're just trying to F you at every place, right? It's
Okay.
like, haven't delivered it. Oh, they need a signature. I mean, just deliver the effing flowers. Why is it so hard? It's
Oh, he was
Valentine's.
bothered. He was
Yeah,
bothered.
but that is a very real life moment there,
For sure. No telling what all was going on in New York. You can't find a place, all that hustle and bustle. I'm surprised. He should have had it delivered the day before, actually. That would have been better, in my opinion. But
who knows?
hey,
I don't know what kind of bossy. I don't know if Paige is sentimental for that kind of stuff or not.
I know, huh? At least he knows would have got there, because you taking a chance like he is taking. It's like nighttime and still ain't arrived. I would have been pissed.
Yeah, me too. He probably spent enough money on it, but it's like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's what he said.
But
He spent extra just to make sure.
yeah,
And he's on the phone and tapping real hard and looking concerned. Poor thing, he'd be all right.
yeah. I do think the call to Shep on Valentine's Day felt very producer scene. You need to call Shep because we need to see on camera you suggesting that you'll be in the area and you and Olivia will come visit. That's what that honestly felt like to me. An awkward setup.
Girl, I can't. If Olivia comes up next episode, that's gonna be real interesting because after all of that, they show up right to the house. They're getting all acclimated to their rooms, and
it must be nice. It's a big house. Did you see that? Must be nice.
Girl, look, just like the housewives, they give the last unwanted fella or person the bunk beds, and it had to be JT.
Well, you want to lead the truth army. You want to be annoying like JT does, like, the run to the litter.
Ooh. It is so obvious. It is so. I'm sticking up for JT, dag nabbit. Now I like JT.
Oh, I think he's a complete necessity and a welcome addition to the show. You need you need a pot stirrer. You need someone, and he's perfect because he believes in his convictions, and he's coming from a slightly misguided because of his own interests, but like he's coming from a place of, you guys are not acting like actual friends. You're acting like dickheads. Like, you guys aren't even like honoring the friend group in the way that you're operating. But the three of them all have all of them are like laughing at him because they have all of this male privilege from being wealthy enough, from being stars in their hometown, and from years and years and years of being in the bars and being able to sleep with anyone. I guarantee you it's going to be real interesting to watch JT after he's on the show for 2 or 3 seasons, because as short and like kind of French bulldog that he is, he will get an upgrade in the kind of women that he has access to. And I'm curious to see what he does with it. I have a feeling there's a tenderness that he might be the kind that gets real happy to get a hot girlfriend, and just be stable. I'd like to see that for him, but you never know. You never know.
I like his maturity. I like his mindset of it all. And I like how he's bringing clarity to a bunch of nonsense these dudes are upholding. Now, he is butting in a little too much because, it really don't need to be that much. And he's getting hot under the collar about everything. Just, like, first of all, ain't none of these women into you. So, you riding harder for your friend than your friend is riding harder for his own situation. He's he cool about it. Yeah. But JT is more so, I can't believe, I just can't believe. I'm like, well, believe it. It's happening. Believe it. Just believe it.
Tone down the righteous indignation a notch or two, because it's not your situation to own. You can be the voice of a conscience as a sideline friend saying, you know what, dude, this is F, this isn't bro code. But to have the little Napoleonic, situation that he's having, tantrum, it's like, dude, this is why you're on the bunk beds. Okay?
At least he got options.
Yes.
He got options.
He can climb up to the top one. Anyway, he's a little bit ridiculous because he's a little too invested in things that don't concern him. But he doesn't have enough going on yet. Like I said, let him age out, let him get settled. Because I need to see the rest of the season. But so far, I'm like, this is the little, this is a little firecracker we needed.
Right.
He's the one that's starting the confrontations, other than Madison, who everybody's a little bit over, I think, because Madison is like, girl, Madison's like mean. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like he's a little bit more ridiculous, which is kind of enjoyable.
Well, most girls are mean, and in this type of thing where guys are more just more laid back than anything. Because
he's just silly though, because you could tell he's really doing it with his whole chest. He feels this
his whole chest, exactly.
Yes. So that's why I kind of enjoy him. Madison, when she said, I saw your tits and vagina, I mean, I loved it. That was like, boom. It was like,
tell the truth, shame the devil.
Yeah. right? Amen. So I appreciated that arrow that she just like pulled back into the, you know what I mean? It was like Robin Hood, went pulled back in that little pouch on your back and put it in the bow.
Yeah.
I felt the breeze from it as it passed everybody's nose. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay. Now
And
the
all Taylor could go, "Did you?" or some shit like that. You know, like stunned, where I was like, "Nope, nailed."
Okay, now the funny thing about this part was now they're trying to cook this food. They're
Yes.
making trying to make heart-shaped burgers for this Valentine's. That
So,
didn't
ugh.
that didn't come through right. Now this Lord, this Velveeta chef
Okay.
cheese.
Right.
Chef. Now, hey, I get it because listen, I get it. Everybody got their favorite thing. Everybody don't make the same food the way they do. But me, I personally rebuke Velveeta in the name because it is not food.
Well, let me ask you, if you're gonna do boxed mac and cheese, what is your go-to? Is it Kraft?
I don't.
Well, and that's fair, but but we're in this territory of like, of that.
But Kraft is powdered, so to me, powdered and Velveeta is the same thing.
It's very similar, it is, but it's a little bit different. Either way, what was making me laugh is I'm like, you're clearly like drunk. All of you. You guys are all drunk because y'all are like, rah, 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 rah. You're eating mushrooms with barbecue sauce on them and you're just
Girl.
chowing down with, you know, I'm sure the hamburger
Onions.
was, yeah, I'm
I
sure
didn't
the
see no
hamburger was,
lettuce, no tomato,
no,
and a bunch of cheese.
yeah. And when you are drunk and you've been on a bus for 5 hours and whatever, you know how things taste good.
Child. Okay, so while they cooking, they got
Right?
two groups of people trying to have these private conversations about the same shit.
Some
Okay,
hot guys.
Bragate. This is the Bragate part, right?
We had
So
Scandival and now we have Bragate.
so first is Rod and JT. Yeah, come here. I need to talk to you. Let's go to the room.
Yep.
So my friends hangs out with Austen. She sees a bra sitting on the chair and he automatically thinks it's Olivia's because he knew that they've been talking and and getting more, and just
I think he knew that they had just seen one another. So the
right,
timing of all of it. What? Yeah.
trauma bonding pretty much.
Right.
And then Craig and Austen go, man, I gotta talk to you for a second. I gotta talk. So then they talking, and then Craig is sitting there just waiting for the ball to drop. Okay,
What'd you do?
Now, I, Austen is setting up the scene, talking about how she comes over, it's her favorite movie. She's sitting on this end of the couch. You sit over there, I sit over, just making it seem like she's playing coy, right? You
I
sit
don't believe that.
now, as Austen tells it, he goes from her bra, he goes from we're watching the movie to the next day, her bra is sitting on my is laying on my chair. I'm like, well, what happened? How'd the bra come off? And Craig is sitting there like, Craig is like me. Well, how the fuck the bra come off?
Yep.
That's the one piece to that story. And then all of a sudden at the end, him and Rod have a conversation because JT brings it up while they're eating those that so-called dinner. And so they go off and talk, and Austen tells him what happened, which is a slightly different story. And he kind of admits to, there was a little, affection. She kissed my chest, we hugged, we kind of petted a little bit. So it's obvious something happened. Why is the bra off? Number one.
She says that she took it off to get more comfortable. And first of all, I don't know. I was thinking about this. I don't know if this is a flat girl thing versus a larger chested woman, but there is no way in I have giant boobs, okay?
Me
There's
too.
no way, right? There's no way if the bra comes off, it's on and cracking. If they free hanging, like, and we had any kind of sexual chemistry, like that's just what's like I can't just. I mean, I'm walking around bouncing. I mean, it's not even like a thought in my mind to get more comfortable at a friend's house to take off my bra. Okay? And so I maybe just don't have the mentality. Regardless, though, taking off your bra at someone's house is suggesting something happened. I just don't believe.
We are first, like you said, she is a maybe B cup, if I can remember. But all I know is I've never noticed any protrusion of boobage to where.
No.
And second of all, how is she this comfortable with him already when just 3 seconds
Regardless.
ago
Mm-hmm.
she was, keeping her distance? No, just like you lied with Taylor, you lying with Olivia, because you're telling 3 different stories in one night to 4 different people.
You know what I think it does say though, regardless, is that Olivia's still into him. Because I get
Yes,
she wanted some comfort in grief, I guess. And because
and that
he used the
happens.
word and right. And so, I'll give that to her, but I think maybe she needs to be a little bit more honest with herself and maybe with Rod in the fact that um she doesn't hate him as much as she purports to.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, I think Austen is playing on her sympathy with this trauma bonding of them both losing their siblings.
Mm-hmm.
Telling her now he just may miss her, but just like he told Rod, I don't want her in that way. Well, why
Right.
are you allowing her bra to come off? Nah, because if he didn't want her in any way like that, then he would not have allowed her to take her bra off to be comfortable. She ain't that big to where she.
I don't
I'm
know.
sorry. That's a bunch of malarkey. If that in fact was said, sorry, I don't believe it. Just like now, I don't. I didn't. I believe Taylor at first, but nah. Both these heifers got something going on.
Yeah, I mean, for Olivia to want to be with Austen and do that, I think it has a romantic tinge to it. So I have a
For
very hard
sure.
time, right? So bra, underwear, sweatshirt, shoes, whatever you took off and left, I just do not believe that it was as innocent as they're trying to portray.
Exactly. And I can't wait for next episode because I
Yes.
need to hear more about this BRAGATE, and I need to
Mm-hmm.
see what more is happening, because apparently, folks is sleeping with folks and whatnot. So
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. But we're gonna wrap
Me
this
neither.
up because woo,
It's
it's
time
getting
to
good. It's
go.
getting good. It's getting good. Thanks again. Thanks again, y'all, for tuning in with me and my girl East Pop Culture Opinion. We are going to wrap it up. This was Southern Charm, Season 9, Episode 8. Any last words, my friend?
Nope, just thanks for having me on as always.
All righty. Well, y'all, here comes the outro.